first pit stop finished. The weather didn't say anything about rain, but the closer we get to Snowdon, the more it's raining.
And the colder it gets.
The colder it gets, and the more cloud cover there is. So I don't know how successful this is going to be, whether we end up turning around or just braving the elements, but we've got about half an hour until we get there. See you at the bottom of the mountain.
We parked and started our climb here in the small town of Llanberis at the foot of Mount Snowdon. There's plenty of parking around, but we opted for the car park opposite the Snowdon Railway, which will cost you £10 for the full day or £6 if you arrive after 2 PM. This video is about the climb itself, but I had to mention that the drive out there was super pretty. There's heaps of little villages and towns that we passed through. Lots of little cafes along the way as well, and just the scenery was absolutely breathtaking.
So, the rain and the clouds that we had about an hour before we got here seem to have subsided by the time we got here. We've stopped in, I'll probably butcher the name, I think it's Llanberis, and we're just working our way up towards the paths up Snowdon. If it is Llanberis, that's the path we're going to be taking, which is apparently the easiest but also the longest. For the first time out here, we didn't want to go and try any of the harder paths because we don't know how hard they're going to be and we don't want to get stuck halfway. We'll see you in a bit.
So the track itself was around 9 miles or 15 k's long. You have to walk about 1.3 kilometers or almost a mile of walking up a steep road to get to the start of that track though.
This first section is actually super steep and both of us are really unfit, so it's a struggle. I don't know, hopefully it'll ease up a little bit. So now's a good time to say that we're only even doing this because on Monday Lou wanted pizza after work and I'm supposed to be on a keto diet, so my snacks for this whole trip are just pepperoni sticks, but was the pizza worth it?
No.
We're only at the start. I mentioned it already, but I'm really glad these skies have cleared up. It would have sucked coming up here in the wind, rain, mist, cloudy. Have absolutely no view at all. Now it's cleared up a bit. I'm in the shade of some trees, not clouds. Now it's cleared up a bit and we can see everything. Just look at that view out there. Absolutely fantastic. And we're still nowhere near the top. Thanks. Nice. Back loop is about an hour and a half south of here. They've gone now, so you can't really hear it. We still got to see a couple of RAF jets flying fast and low through the valleys up here between the mountains. I don't know if you can see or hear it, but over there in the background is the mountain rescue helicopter hovering over a certain point on the hill. I don't know how common it is for accidents to happen up here in Snowdonia, but we did see the mountain rescue car go by earlier. Got a little bit of footage of that super quickly. It looks like that mountain rescue helicopter is landing somewhere further up along the path that we're on. I don't think we'd get there in time to see what's actually happening. It's actually quite a way away. We'd have to move with a bit of pace to get up there. And it's probably a bit morbid and rude to really want to know why there's mountain rescue up here, but curious nonetheless. I thought on the way here that maybe I would have regretted taking the easiest path and that the others might have been more of a challenge and more entertaining. I think Lou would agree that this one is hard enough for going up any mountain for the first time, let alone the tallest peak in Wales.
Halfway up the Llanberis track, you'll find a halfway house. This place sells snacks, drinks, souvenirs and coffee, so it's definitely worth a stop here, but I'd suggest doing it on the way back down. It's not long after this point that the cameras had to go away for a bit so we could focus on where we were walking, because it gets much more complex. It's not quite dangerous, but you still have to have your wits about you. Other than the steep terrain, it was actually pretty easy going up until the halfway house point.
We're less than an hour in. Don't know how far up we are, or how far we've got left to go. No, it's like 900 and something meters to the top. And Lou's struggling. It is a hard slog, but just look at this view. You can't complain about that as a rest stop. Still on the way up, no idea how far we got to go. The top is somewhere up there in the cloud, and then we found this. What have we got?
Some kind of log with coins in it. I don't know why.
So, still got no idea how far we've come up or how far we've got to go. And it is a struggle. I mean, we are climbing a mountain, and I said at the start that both of us are super unfit. And Lou keeps telling me off for putting it on camera struggling, but it's okay to find it hard. It's something new, it's a new experience, something we haven't done, and it's going to help us get in shape. So we're doing it anyway, and we are going to get to the top, and we're not going to give up and turn around and go back to the bottom again. One thing's for sure is that we've got to be getting near the top, because it's starting to get real cold, real windy,
and we're
and
passing people that we passed on the way up.
We're passing people who overtook us on the way up coming back down because we've been super slow.
We haven't been that slow though.
Yeah, we've taken a few breaks, we'll put it that way.
a milk chocolate popcorn bar with pretzels in it. It's a bit weird, but it's sweet and salty and it's sustenance, so I don't really care. So unfortunately we didn't end up seeing why mountain rescuer up here, but around this spot we met a lady walking the track with her dog who told us that a girl had actually broken her ankle. So this section of the track is pretty perilous and we can certainly see how that would happen, even if you're wearing good boots. I actually almost broke my ankle here when I slipped off the rock I stepped on. It's also at about this point that it starts to get really cold, windy and damp. Crossing into the cloud line and above most of the surrounding peaks there isn't much shelter left from the wind, and it's here where we think the most challenging part of the climb is, at least once you get past the shock of how steep it starts.
So I did something stupid. I found a cool spot where I wanted to have a photo taken, and getting down was really easy. Getting up, not so easy. I'm going to try and find a way up. I'll give Lou the camera. There's sheep poop everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. We are so close to the top now, I think I can see it through the clouds. And all the way up, Lou's been struggling and I've been pushing her to keep going and keep going and keep going, because years and years and years ago I had a wallpaper on my phone that said that your mind will quit 1,000 times before your body does. Which sounds weird relying on that quote now, because I'm way out of shape and it was completely different back then and I was getting back into shape, which I'm doing again now, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, we're super close to the top and I could tell when Lou's really struggling and really finding it hard compared to just wanting to give up in her own mind. So we got this far up and now I can tell that the struggle is an actual real struggle. And I've given Lou the option and said, look, we can turn around and go back down now, and well, she won't let me. I had to put my jumper on because it is absolutely freezing cold up here. And just when you think you've made it, you're round a corner and then that's lying in front of you. We even had a sign showing us where the summit was. That's just deceptive. Anyway, onwards and upwards, literally. I guarantee you'll be able to hear absolutely none of this for the wind. But we made it. We're at the top of Snowdon.